I am Pat Soldano, president of Family Enterprise USA, whose sole mission and purpose is to promote family businesses and their job growth in America. In doing that, we want to hear from real family businesses. And so today I have with me David Plimpton, who is CEO and president of Intelex. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Pat. Intelex is a 145-year-old innovation and R&D company. We design the molecules and applications across a wide variety of things in the personal care industry. Personal care broadly encompassing health, beauty, and wellness products. So these are ingredients that go into everyday products that certainly you're using every day, including ingredients for hand sanitizers and wet wipes. We are also very proudly a USA manufacturer.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the employees? How many employees do you have? How do you support the community in which you serve?
We have about 24 family shareholders, but more importantly, we have about 130 individuals at Intelex, and that represents 130 families that they are serving, that Intelex is an economic engine for. And so, relatively speaking, with 130 people, we're a modest business. So whenever we talk about being a family business, it's really not about our family so much as it's also about all of those families that depend on us. After all, these families are our greatest stakeholders. We often say our business is about families serving one another, as together we serve our customers.
So David, as you're aware, President Biden has proposed some tax increases. He wants to eliminate a step-up in basis on the estate tax, which is a very significant proposal. He wants to increase capital gains tax, and he wants to increase income taxes. So how do you think this increase in tax proposals by President Biden would impact your business, your employees, your family, and the community?
Well, Pat, let me first say, we are good taxpayers. It is not insignificant, and happy to do our part as taxpayers and as a business. When we sold two different industrial business lines, we did not qualify for any Trump tax cuts. The more recent one was in early 2017. And as I like to say, we paid our full freight of capital gains tax. And now we're looking at selling our urban site and expect yet another significant capital gains tax. The proceeds after tax going into reinvesting in the company, in the new site, the new equipment, and most importantly, into people, our talent and future talent needs. So it's actually quite simple. The higher the tax burden that we have is really the less that we can reinvest in the business. And for that matter, in the people and in new talent. Our greatest expense is our payroll, which is already taxed on multiple levels, as our people know well, particularly by city taxes and other taxes. In fact, every dollar our company makes is taxed.
David, you're aware of the estate tax, sometimes called the death tax, which is only paid by individuals, by families, by estates of individuals. And today that rate is a 40% tax rate. It has step up in basis, which, as I mentioned, President Biden has said he would eliminate. But today, what would happen to your business, your employees, your community, if there was a death in the family? And specifically, what if you passed away, or one of the other significant shareholders?
It's very simple. It would be catastrophic. And quite simply, how does one perfectly plan for an event such as death, where timing is uncertain? And for that matter, the tax code is always changing. It is very, very difficult. My simple view on the death tax is as such. It is both confiscatory and it's also arbitrary, given the nature of the timing. Our desire is to build a multi-generational, thriving community that is contributing to the bettering of people's lives. And it's interesting even how you phrased the question, and most people know it as such, as the estate tax, which sounds so foreign, because I think an estate is foreign to many people, and it also sounds so luxurious. But the fact of the matter is, Intelex is a working enterprise. There's no vault that we have that has a bunch of gold bags in it. And so as such, at the date of death, and a couple deaths in our family would trigger an event that would result in us having to come up with roughly half the fair market value of the business then and there and pay it in full. That is an enormous undertaking. And yes, that would be catastrophic, not just for us, but for the continuation of our workforce. There are many, of course, predatory buyers out there that look exactly for this opportunity with multi-generational family businesses, looking at ones that are distressed because they're not able to come up with a tax bill. So in the end, this is a tremendous challenge for us.
So I think you talked about this already, the fairness of the estate tax. You talked about it being confiscatory, but do you want to expand on that at all? And again, the estate tax today, while the rate's 40%, we do have a large exemption. But if that exemption went down to $1 million and the rate went up, and the elimination of step up meant every single generation was going to pay a tax on that appreciation, how do you feel about that as a country's tax policy?
Ultimately, Pat, we all know no one can take their business with them or their wealth with them when they die. The death tax really becomes, at risk of sounding extreme, forced philanthropy to the US government. And I'm saying that as someone who, there are a lot of great and good philanthropies that we support and that I personally support. And I should also say that I love the United States and I love the unique freedoms it offers, including the freedom to own private property and the freedom to be an entrepreneur. No entrepreneur goes about it alone. It's with a team, it's with people, and we always must be attracting, retaining, and rewarding our people. The elimination of the step up in basis fundamentally is a game changer that threatens the uniqueness of private multi-generational family businesses. And for most entrepreneurs, at least most entrepreneurs I know, there's nothing more satisfying than building something of value and a community of value that ultimately continues in your absence. And for that matter, building something conceptually that you're able to pass to the next generation. It's really not about wealth per se. It's about furthering something that you've started. So a death or two in our family would be disastrous, and it would put the burden of the death tax upon us, coming up with a valuation immediately, and then the proceeds to pay for it. And the elimination of the step up really is quite damaging.
Well, David, thank you so much for all your time today. Really appreciate your comments. Once again, I'm speaking with David Plimpton, CEO and President of Intelex. Thank you for joining us.